We are all so connected. Hello, world. It's Tess Sobelmehan Marshall with Running Nerds LLC out of Atlanta, Georgia. And I've been wanting to make this video for a couple of weeks now. Been giving a lot of thought on the subject of we are so connected. Just thinking about the road race industry and the running community in general, all of the different ways that an event affects so many different entities. Several states are operating at different levels of stay at home orders and businesses opening. But at the end of the day, we've all been impacted pretty significantly over the last 4 to 6 weeks. We've had to make some pivots to accommodate our amazing running community to keep everyone active, connected, and positive. And in planning for those pivots, it's become more and more apparent to me how important every aspect of putting on a race, not only your runners, but your vendors, your partners, and everyone involved from registration all the way through to the finish line. So I'm just going to use one of our events as an example just to show you how deep the impact goes and how connected we really are in the racing and running community. So we have our Urban Tree Cidery 5K that was slated to be on Memorial Day, May 25th. And we made a decision to combine that event with another event that's slated for June and turn it into a virtual running challenge. But just using that one event, Urban Tree Cidery, it's going to share with you how we're all connected and how so many entities were impacted. So start with the obvious. Obviously, Running Nerds, that's our event. We're not going to be able to bring in runners at the level that we anticipated. That race usually has about 400 to 500 participants. We time our own events as well as do a lot of our own production. So the revenue that we would have generated, of course, we won't be able to generate that revenue. Our partner, Urban Tree Cidery, also generates some revenue on rental fees, as well as we count on our participants to stick around after the race is over and patronize the bar. And obviously it's great marketing for them to be able to have people in their facility and learning about their offerings, and of course drinking their delicious cider. So lost revenue for our partner, lost revenue for us. And then let's talk about just some basic things. I've got a list here, so apologize for reading off the list. Of course, we have sponsors that work with us all throughout the year for our race series, and those sponsors aren't getting the connections and the contact that they originally planned throughout the year. So this was going to be our second event in a series of 6 events. So the sponsors are unfortunately not able to get that in-person contact at that event that they anticipated. Independent contractors, that's a huge one for us. We're very blessed that we're able to pay some very talented folks to help us execute all of our events. So our timers, our social media managers, our DJ, our MCs, our photographers, our cone crew that gets out there and cones the course, and even our race day chiefs that come and help us set up and break down each event. So all of those are areas that we are no longer able to pay the stipend that we typically offer for those race day events or that particular race event. And even with young people, we try to hire young people to help us out, make extra money, either college students or high school students, and make extra money on the weekends. And canceled event prohibits us from being able to do that. Other vendors that we work with, such as the company that we lease our porta potties. There's some events, and this event not so much, but there's several events where we will rent fencing, trash and recycle, any of those things that you need to typically put on an event. When an event is canceled or switched to a virtual, you're no longer able to work with those vendors. Our police officers, all of our police officers along our course are paid off-duty rates, and those police officers, I know a lot of them count on that as extra income outside of their normal hours that they work, so they're no longer able to receive that income. Our volunteers, a lot of our volunteers are using our events as volunteer hours or just a way just to give back. So we have a 2020 challenge going on in our Atlanta community where we're challenging runners to get out and volunteer for 20 hours. So a canceled event or canceled events across the board limit the opportunities to actually get out and volunteer. Our beneficiaries, we have beneficiaries for all of our events, and of course, canceling an event, you don't make the revenue, you can't get the donations that you intended. And again, back to the volunteers, a lot of our beneficiaries volunteer at our events, so they're not able to get those experiences that they normally would have gotten. Your city officials and municipalities, a lot of times you're paying a fee for your permitting. Every city is a little bit different, but here in Atlanta, we have permitting fees. Depending on if you're hosting an event at a park or at a private location, there might be additional fees, park fees. So those are fees that are no longer going to be incorporated by the municipality. So that's lost revenue for them. The neighborhoods, a lot of the neighborhoods and the neighborhood for this particular race looks forward to that event. It looks forward to hosting runners running through their neighborhood. It's a great look for the neighborhood to have an event that's running through the neighborhood. And Urban Tree Cidery is kind of nestled in between two neighborhoods that love that place and want to support it. So canceled event, you can't support the event, and again, lost opportunity for the neighborhoods to get some recognition. And then of course, exposure for businesses that are in those neighborhoods. A lot of our races are put on and run through various neighborhoods, and we feel we do a great service to the community because we're exposing runners from all over the metro Atlanta area to certain neighborhoods, and a lot of times that's their first time actually being in those neighborhoods. So the obvious things of your race got canceled as a runner, so you're no longer able to run the race. As a event producer, we're not able to put on the race, but all of these other entities are absolutely affected, and we are just so connected. I can't tell you how many conversations I've had over the past 2 or 3 weeks with my partners, vendors, and even our runners that we just want to get back to gathering and high-fiving and hugging and just being together and being social. So that's my thoughts on how we are just so connected. I made a video a few weeks ago just talking about some of the impacts, the positive impacts that we'll see on a lot of events getting pushed to the fall. And one of them was having a greater appreciation for large gathering and events. And I can't emphasize that point enough. I know I personally can't wait. The virtual stuff's fun, but as I've said publicly, race directing from a computer, not my ultimate goal in life. So making the best out of this situation. I'm loving how the running community is embracing the race series that they love and supporting. And these virtual platforms are giving us an opportunity to support businesses that we love and care for and want to see around on the other side of this pandemic. So that's a plus, and definitely want to always look at the bright side of things. But at the end of the day, cannot wait to get back out there and keep all these connections tight. So y'all have a good day. If you have any ideas on how we are so connected, please leave some comments and subscribe. Thanks.